Minister, can you kindly call?
Good morning, Mr. Witness. You may kindly sit down. Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you the oath you took in Mandinka yesterday to continue your testimony. Thank you. Mr. Interpreter, is it possible to render that into Mandinka for you?
Very well.
Because you understand English.
Very well. Akala itandila jawole mukome ko hansande kalo isa hakula to kobe kalo menta kutum wole be continue la wole be ka hansanya mo.
Okay. Madam Chair, on that note, I have the honor to hand over the witness to you.
Good morning, Mr. Gary. You are welcome. Council, can we proceed, please?
Yes. Good morning, Honorable Commissioners, Honorable Chairperson, Lead Council, Executive Secretary. Good morning, everyone present. Mr. Gary, how are you? It is a continuation of where we stopped yesterday, so I will urge you to speak louder. Yes, so now there was an investigation in relation to the activities of the Director of Finance primarily. Is that correct?
Director of Finance
Director Damanna voted.
CEO, both of them.
Right. What were the complaints that led to the investigation?
Audit.
First of all, we have any information or tell us that there
Revenue collector dolveje ibuka collection okay anyanta kela nyame.
And again, it tells us that there are certain revenue collectors who did not normally collect revenue accordingly.
So wale atinanga kiskisoro nyinge wakamu.
These were the reasons why there was an investigation.
So how many of you were in the team that conducted the investigation?
According to what Chisro, I told more Jollebenunje, me and Quatole Chisro Tamandi.
Mo nani.
We were 4 in number.
Their names, please.
Ako Walto Di Maldu.
Mariama Trawale.
Mariama Trawale.
Sana Drame.
Sana Drame.
Fatu Saho.
Fatu Saho.
Aninde.
And myself.
So how long did it take for you to conduct your investigation?
Ako atolla Chisro dum royalta ala memo munati kari jalu tili jalu wala sanji jalu.
O kiskisi follow the lokun sabale.
The first investigation was a period of 3 weeks.
And then?
Ako koteng.
Video bantanga na report o safe.
When we finished that, we wrote a report.
Ngasamba General Council.
And it was taken to the General Council.
On the second page of your statement, the second paragraph, you had said that at the report writing stage, the Director Suso met and made a remark to the committee that the committee is wasting its time on the investigation and said that he has done what he should do.
Akoni ajuwe itefa wala kumakango lela kalmol memu ila statement oti. Ala kumakang fulanya woye me itandifa wala kumakango iko kabring alleo chisisro ke fale report o safe alia samba. Ako alla finance director memu Mr. Suso or Lamin Suso a wulta la anata kumakao kele. Ako nyine mitela kalmoti.
What were you trying to explain?
Amanke biriwato men number report or sambakande.
It doesn't mean that at the time we took the report,
Birimbe report or that.
So perhaps it is lost in translation, but yes. So now,
Biringa kumandi.
When we called him
Kanyininka,
and we were asking him
allegation on Melialon Kafoko, revenue collector lefo.
the allegation that level against him by the collectors,
Aya atela member atela fanala ayafo.
for him to tell us
Ata ateli fulanjango ay voucher dol nati.
when he left the following day, he came with some of the vouchers,
Ay present.
were presented.
Nko malafi nyinda manna nko kodi nangamo mentole ya kisikisi walem 91,000 wo voucher lafta walla.
We said to him that these are not enough. What we wanted, we need the whole vouchers of the amount calculated, that is $91,000. We need all those vouchers.
So ateko auto corridor dunda dulamen ate mo lejo counter amawo dulalo amawo kaitolje.
He said the other monies where he spent them, he have papers to read, but he cannot trace them. He cannot see those documents.
So anata fonye ko albe
Advise us to go ahead to prepare the report.
tolle nyantela doko itala nka mem fo wole muni man voucher soto tolbe na report dala la manjare tolle ite na report dara nyafo.
There, I myself said to him that, Director, we know our job. It's not for you to dictate us what to do. If you don't, that's the answer he gave to us, that you people are just wasting your time or you're disturbing yourselves, because what I'm supposed to do, I did it already. There I said to him, you did your job, and we too will do our job, and we'll take the report to the General Council and see whether they are there for themselves or they are there for the people of the country.
So after the report was General Council.
From there, our report was written and taken to the General Council.
So this report, you had said that it was rejected by the General Council. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What were the reasons of rejecting the report?
He said to us that there are certain elements of our words that it's too powerful. We have to remove that from the safe report.
So
what words are these, do you know?
Mismanagement.
Mismanagement.
The General Council, you should not use words like mismanagement.
Mismanagement and abuse of office.
Correct.
So it is said by the General Council that the words like mismanagement against whom? Who?
Director
of Finance.
Finance.
You had found that there was mismanagement and abuse of office by the Director of Finance?
Yes.
So you use these words to describe your findings in with respect to your investigation?
That
he has abused his office? And he had mismanaged the council's funds?
Yes.
And so they don't want that?
Very well.
Why do you think they do not want that?
Yes, because this report,
Director Finance
this is my obligation and
follow ye kodo dispose le yari council do la pour eta project called implement
Yes, because first of all, there are certain finance posted to them for them to go and implement certain projects of which they fail to do so.
So wo project on tolena kiskisiro ke nataje o kodo do yadomole.
During our investigation, we realized that those monies had been eaten by them.
So molko yajo,
we requested them to refund the monies.
Anun dolmajo.
Some of them did not.
Council wulita itata collection ola.
The council themselves went for collection.
Any revenue collector.
Together with the revenue collectors.
So akamunta council, General Council la reputation tinyale already.
So which means they have spoiled their reputation.
So it tell the tonya tamaninola.
So they cannot believe the truth.
So two issues. Number one, you felt that the council members were compromised. They were compromised.
And the
first example you had given
ako akamenta ko example follow mendi
or let me say one of the examples you have given
ako ko example mendi ga kilintaje
is that some of the council members were going with the revenue collectors collect revenue.
Wala ko misal fe men foje wala mu ni council dol bi mi ala ko ni revenue collector ni nama kaninale kata nyola le
And the second is that some councillors were given were involved in contracts that they never implement fully.
Ako council dol bije comme afanya men wolu comme ko nafulol dira pour ka projet ko lo bar imanna ke anyama.
Yes. Is that your evidence?
Ako wala bi lay kuma kala multi ba. Yes.
Now give examples of projects that were supposed to be executed by the area council together with some council or ward councillors, and they never did that.
Ako bela film men na wala project ko bi yalon ko wala yuruwa doku mi yalon ko inyanta kala la yo la hido dila le no ko do dila ima ke anyama ko fo isi kilin dol to fo no jiba. Yes.
Yes, we are listening.
Ako yes, it's a phone le.
Garawol
ward.
Ye kodo dia la pour ka marché futandi sudwol.
The monies or finance were given to them for them to complete the market. They don't put the monies therein. The market itself have collapsed.
The same place Lamoy.
The same time Lamoy. Their monies was given to them for them to erect a bridge. If you can go through my report, you can see, because myself I was standing on the bridge around under the trees.
Which of the reports?
My statement, if you check it better, there is something attached to it.
Can you refer us to the specific report on the statement?
Akofo isafono pe kaitu jumala wala be damendo statement.
Reporto men ko koval ala koval introduction on yimbe misiri.
We will
the one I gave you yesterday, but I think it's not tender. The one I gave you and the cover is out. You get it to say.
Here's the report itself.
It's here. Here is the cover letter.
Here is the cover.
What is the name of this bridge?
Akonye bridge to pomo nyintondile.
Lamoy Diabugo.
Lamoy Diabugo.
Lamoy.
Yes. Lamoy Diabugo.
Can you please help to arrange this report so that we can seek to have it tendered?
Okay.
Honorable Commissioners, we applied to tender the Basse Area Council Development Subcommittee Monitoring and Evaluation Report. I believe we have this already. No, you see, the 2019-2020 report, it should be in one of the attachments. I'm not sure. May I confirm that? I believe it was already. So we will give this copy to the witness so that we will discuss some few findings. Do the commissioners have copies of the report? Yes, let's discuss the report, the Basse Area Council Development Subcommittee Monitoring and Evaluation Report 2019-2020, just briefly.
Ako signing ko hanam ko mo jam fande in kay to membe bulute memo la report
Now, this will be primarily to understand the issues regarding how the wards were dealing with the area council and the councillors representing the wards in relation to development.
Akosa ni membi je alafta kachala mbenna wala wodo lo eketola ko tama ni nyamen ini area council tema andum kome ko fanan ani mol mi yalon ko atol dol sifal memu council ti mi yalon ko mol lal tombong al katama ko tama ni nyaadile ani area council tema ani alla mol faran tema.
And to understand why the councillors or the general council, which comprise of the councillors, would reject the audit committee finding, that's your committee's finding, against the director of finance.
Councillor dabi yele me atinna e manna song atolla nyini ndure wala la kichi siro la reporto me yalongo aliya samba aliye dundije fengo fe matinna fo director of finance like what in the council.
We are compromised, so there are abuse of office against director of finance.
Ako bayri fango ya foja neko itol fango tara fed multi mi alon ko idabi jele wo kamma nyinna yatinna imam pare wala imam song pour wo tol mi wala kuma kangol mi alon ko we director of finance non dile bayri fango yole foja skeno a finance fem fo itol la karola ako fo si dalil sotono yeba.
Do you understand?
Ako ya fahamle. Yes.
Now turn to the second page.
Ako ni element ngata kayit fulanya ngoni kono. Yes.
Now there were some general observations with respect to the subcommittee monitoring evaluation report for 2019 and 2020.
Akoni ajuwe kalmadol biye kuma kamol mi yalon ko wala kalmol mi yalon ko alla ci siro ko do benkata non 2019 kana 2020.
One of your findings or observations is that there was a failure on project implementation and financial mismanagement.
Akoni ajuwe ali alla jero to kabri ci siro keta alla jero to wala ko korido duta puru yurwa la karola bare wo yurwa nyimanta andum fana nafulo mi yalon ko nyantale ka censu nyola imake anyama.
Is that correct?
Ako photo nyatale ba? Yes.
Number two, that many unilateral proposals, projects were submitted and approved without proper consultations of ward, or it should be with ward committees, and some projects or activity were implemented by councillors without the involvement of ward committees in the execution.
And irefango ila kalmol al fulanyango e meitani wala ko yurwa do jamale ketanunje wala nyanta kilami yalla ko dunta kono yalla ko fofo ya londi andum itola obetu imandu mol kono yalla ko wala community ti ila wodol kono pour ni woli kacha itola yake e faye.
So yes. In these two findings, what you had said was, number one, there was mismanagement and no proper implementation.
Alani jero fulo yeme fo fulo wala mu ani ajube management man soto ye anu implementation o yanta tamana la nyama make anyama.
And number two,
yes,
the ward committees were never involved, or their involvement was minimal in the implementation.
Anu fana ni ajube wo yurwa do ko nyan ikamenke wala nye menke ni ajube wo community mol wala multi many sindije wala imeda dundiye.
Can you briefly explain?
Ako fo si je senandi no man. Yes. As I said, monies were given to councillors and they did not perform the work. And they did not return or refund the monies. Some of them, the monies given for the purpose of those projects, they don't even put the monies there. The monies was diverted and the monies was put into other implementations. That means it doesn't even need the work. Those works were not needed. So mismanagement so which means it's a mismanagement
and failure for an
there are failures to implement those projects.
Unilaterally come council
when I say unilaterally, there are certain councils therein they do write requests.
Authentic signature of ward members mandarabal.
And you cannot find those authentic signatures of those ward members. The minutes of the meeting are not there, but the signatures must be there to indicate that those guys are present on the said meeting. Where they are aware of it.
And bring that filo fananto.
When we went to the field itself,
for the monitoring and evaluation
of the project, we used to invite the ward committees. And we ask them, we question them. The questions therein is that monies were given to our councillors. Are you aware of it? Some of them, they answered in negative. And sometimes we ask them about the projects that have been implemented there, whether they are aware of it. Sometimes in negative. And when we told them the amount of monies given, whether they are aware or they seen the monies, they said, no, we see nothing. This happens, this is why sometimes when we go to the field, some of the councillors, they do run away, they never want to attend on. And the ward committees, only the alcalos and the VDCs, chairmen. So that shows us that this report is very authentic.
Now, number 5, Roman letter 5 and 6. You had said that the participation of these committees, of this ward committee, is just 5% or less.
Yes.
And that number 6, the communities which are Wellingara, Farato, Baniko, Ismail, etc., that benefited from council's borehole projects are still complaining of water shortage and poor pipe laying.
Ako akanyin tundulu mento foteng ako niya juwe bayri je iko ye boholo lesinje ako barahani sanyi tata o moli ya wolbe kumbo kanne de wolbe diam kanji ko la de ako jiwol metol si.
And
yes,
and Kanube bridge still has incomplete work, which is the both sides not connected to the bridge.
Ako niya juwe fo kanme pomoto ako pomo nying hani sanyi ado ho nyim mambang de because niya juwe wo karafrol be ma chokinyola.
Yes, just please briefly explain to us.
Ako abele free je senenda
the
time we visited Kanme Bridge, it was incompleted. But right now we speaking is completed. But these boreholes I'm talking about, which they say it was drilled by council, but the contract wasn't good, it's not standard. The way they dug the boreholes is not standard. And the benefit or the use of them, the community does not acquire that. Because you see, the project does not even be ready and the pipes start busting. Some of the borehole standards have bent down. The pump heads broken, which shows that the project failed.
So ningo community member participation.
So when I say the community members participation,
so there
are certain places only the council and the alcalo are aware of the projects, or they are involved in the project.
While VDC
and we have the VDC village development program, which are not aware of it.
So
this is it.
Now, the next page, there was a general fund in relation to all the projects. For example, the Kanube, what is RCH Center?
Musol kata nurse la dulame.
That's where the women go for nursing when they have children. They take the children.
Right. So the Kanube RCH Center, you see that there were inadequate rehabilitation leaking as far as
and men for you will you may see ye and near you from a boom you may allow ya dadale no book and you need some market for
and you made a comment. The committee made a comment in relation to its finding, especially in Kanube RCH Center.
And ngatola jero to kabrale chesiro ke aliye la kumo fo bakele wala mu Kanube CR Center,
which you had said that the Kanube RCH needs an urgent intervention to save lives of our pregnant women and unborn babies.
Anu atoliye me itandi je wala mu ko ha jere nyanto kar janta kala le kato janta kala takata bekele pour alkaje ko
prenatal care.
Andung alnata itandiko aketa masibote wala kala ku bati kaje ko musol ni dindiwolu menu nyanta e man topotoro soto anyama ko nyanta soto la nyame.
And the other part of the comment
Andu fana niya juwe karado biye alla kalmo momenti walam ko
is that Boro Kanda Kase community,
ako Boro Kanda Kase ila molu wala ila community
the community garden,
ila gardino
needs proper fencing as they get access to market, but still struggle so badly they travel 60 kilometers to purchase vegetables to sell in that market.
Akoni ajube wala o marse oto aketa kuti mi alko bata ku bale bije ba ire ikabagaso lo soto dame mi kamenu wafi je jam fata bakala tata le fo kilo taworo dambi be ftale bitada.
So you have touched on these two areas. First, the idea that women, especially pregnant women, will be in the village, and then the condition of the village will be so bad that they will not even have access to proper or basic Medicare. And the second one would be that they will have to travel 60 kilometers just to do basic market transactions. 60 kilometers is really unimaginable.
Allah itandiro jang na mkumu kufulale miala kumayata we itandiro ke bak. Folo wala mo Allah loptano wala ka no sta dame bayri ali jero ke nyamin ali itandiro ko je mambete ya musol mi al ko kono be la anin dindingol ika bata bakale borol buke si comme anyantale nyame fulanjango ali itandiko musol mi al ko wala fanan kanyi gadin fengol wafi ka batale bayri kata fengol soto dame ko me afo nyama jam fata bakale si lo mambete ya katale fo kilometer men da ko taworo.
Yes, please tell us about these 2 points.
When it comes to Kanyube,
yes,
we went there to make our find out what is their problem. But what we detected there, what we saw there, we were not happy. We were not satisfied. And we promised them that it will be written and it will be taken to the authorities.
So bring us some General Council.
When it was taken to the General Council,
Molko General Council sulata urgent intervention on Lanyindulato.
And we said to the General Council, we need an urgent intervention to this place. But the person who should follow this, that's the councillor. They are councillor. All we need is just to write a report and bring it to the council. And the report was adopted. And now the person who should be very firm to follow this is their councillor. But sometimes when it is time for budget, when we put the budget, it seems to be at the area council we have 2 groups. We have certain groups which they used to label them in a different name. And we have another society or group of which sometimes they used to one another. And sometimes when we are making this budget, there are some people very strong-headed up there. So this is...
Sorry, interpreter. Can you go back to that statement? You said the budget. Let him repeat that.
This is what I
get it. So that you interpret it right.
Yes, please help me with this last statement. What I want to say is that when it is time for budgeting, it seems we have 2 groups. There are certain groups of which they used to label them a different name. And there are certain society or group which they used to aid and one another. So where it is very hard, everybody will just make yourself strong. Wherever you come from, you have to fight for that side. So this is why still now the implementation does not work.
So I am interested to know the... Yes, let's proceed.
Yeah, just a short question. Which of the groups do you belong to?
Excuse me.
And let him label the groups A and B. You should even give us the name of the groups.
Whether
this one are pro, whether this ones are against. Let him explain it clearly.
Very well. Akoje laftanga je moya sene abake akobayri ni ajuwe kafa fula lebe caring. Sawo kafo alafta londa kafa kafo ke kumandi nyaade wala wolu tomu menti. And ite famo alafta londa kafa fulolu ite be kafa jumale kono.
Yo kafu do be jenga kumani roba stamp kafola.
There's a group that names after rubber stamp.
So kafudo we intending former vice chairman Yuba Jawara kantolle kumani iko nyilmu socialist olleti wala nyilmu doing kolleti.
So the second group where I am belong myself and
Yuba Jawara
and others, they call us as
iko nyilmu socialist wala nyilmu doing kolleti.
And or the people from who are Doi members of the Doi.
Ani Ibrahim Danso.
And one Ibrahim Danso.
Bari ndol melbe kafo kono mambo party kilim fam.
But the people for us in that group, we are not of the same party.
Dobe UDP, dobe GDC.
Some are from UDP, some GDC.
Bari ndol ka jube komi na mirole keta kilindi doron katanyola.
But all we see is that all our thinking is the same and our aim is the same. This is why we be together.
So wole beje.
This is it.
Kanyin kafu fula lebeje.
So I can say there is two societies or groups.
Any other question? Yes, so we will touch the uncomfortable. You can interpret that. We will discuss the things that are not comfortable to discuss. Because it touches on the root, the very core of our problems as a society. And so since you have brought it up, we will discuss it. So what I get from you is that political affiliation is a problem in Basse Area Council. So much so that it affects even your budgeting processes. And that will effectively affect the progress of the development in Basse Area Council. Is that what you are saying?
No,
what I'm saying is that when you come to council and find somebody newly there, so they will not know which party you belong to. But for us who are in the same group,
Honorable Yuba is UDP.
Honorable Yuba is UDP.
Danso is GDC.
Danso is GDC. I am Doi P2I.
So nim political affiliation
when there, if at all it is a political affiliation that will not unite or will not be together.
But
as far as there are people in the management or in the other groups, they are the people who just level us like that.
That is what I'm saying. I am not saying you in the execution of your functions will decide which party you belong to or which ideology you subscribe to. Or which concept, or which religion, or which tribe. But the management will say that the group you belong to is socialist group and Doi.
Ako bare comme management ataka men fate wolbe men atol gela nyame wala mu atol be groupe men do womu socialist wala atol mu doy.
Those will be political statements.
Ako wolbe kala political ko kalmol le.
Hade.
Yes.
And is that correct?
Ako to nyata le
am I correct?
Ako well, that's not correct.
Good. Because what do you find?
There are certain times
nimbe council
when we are the council
come director Suso
like director Suso.
What you nimena meeting all the wrong bedula kafo nyin doing call ko le adal nyil beten.
At any time we want to start a meeting or we want to have a meeting, he used to say that, but these people are from Doi, they are not easy, they are difficult, their things are like that.
So what you will kumoleta katumen sign the land to
all the time he used to say that to me.
Now let's go back to the development, unless there are other questions, the development of Basse Area Council. You had said 60 kilometers is what women will walk, have to walk to access the market.
musolu ikatama le men data fo kilo taworo kaje ko pour isaje isulata men na isa sotono pour ila marché auto hade yes
But that would be unimaginable.
ako wo mote o mira no la fa
Is that still the situation?
ako abe wala nyama
ha galino abeje le barisa among nyanta fence la nyame amawsoto.
there is a garden but this way is supposed to be fenced. No, it doesn't.
Marcio membeje community la initiate.
The market there was initiated by the community.
Council nata ke mako e puruka cemento doning keregeto dilaninka a pempe.
Council came there to put their hand there to help them with the cement and corrugated iron sheet.
But community project ole.
But it's a community project.
So after na insafero ke bawe Marcio soto.
After we wrote to them because the village or the community have a market.
And we katama brimboro kanda kase katafo base.
And they used to walk from Barabondo Kase to Base.
Ika moto silo le mbare kata sandiro la fo base.
Although there's a vehicle road, they take transports, but they go up to Base to go for buying their community.
Wado li kata fo Jaube Senegal.
Sometimes they used to go to Jaube in Senegal.
Puruka bagasol nati Marcio to.
So that they can bring goods to the market.
So wale mga nyinsa fero ke pur council e makwe.
That is why we wrote to council for assistance.
But it
doesn't happen.
If you turn to the next page, you have said, please proceed.
Councillor, 60 kilometers. They walk 60 kilometers. From which village to the which village is this 60 kilometers?
Alafta
the same day?
Yeje itandala wala yeje fa sate jumani sate jumale mi alon ko chilo taworo mi alon ko mo sitano je yimuru nandi go lum kilimo nyin kon.
What do they kata dula me fon siara because ni tata jawbe o siara 60 kilometers.
Sometimes
wait. From where to where is this?
Boro kanda kase jawbe.
Jaube is in Senegal.
Jaube akwa Senegal. Yes.
There is no other facility in the Gambia that gives them what they want in services.
Ako amunta ko jang Gambia ko no man facility soto me alan ko nyanta sot la ila service o nyinna.
Ika stano boro kanda kase base.
They can go from Boro Kanda Kase to Base.
Fanamu 50 something kilometers.
From where?
Boro Kanda Kase Base.
From Boro Kanda Kase to Base.
How many
it's around 50 something kilometers.
It's around 50 something kilometers.
They walk.
Akoy katamale.
Moto.
Huh?
Moto.
No, they use vehicles.
Vehicle. All right. No, yes, say it clearly. Okay, thank you.
They use transport. Ako je senator sana faham.
You mean that the Boro Kandakasa community garden, which needs fencing, but you are saying that they struggle so badly that they travel 60 kilometers to purchase vegetables. You mean they will get vehicle to go to?
Ako ila kalmo menti wale Boro Kandakase ila nako isulata pour ye fencing kiji.
Hade.
Yes, adu franja ma fanang musol nyingi kabo Boro Kandakase kata fo base bare ka motol leta kataji.
Now, the next page, you had said that the community, the Sare Sacho,
yes.
Yes, going through a hardship to access clean drinking water. There was a time that they had to go to Somita. Is it Sotuma?
Sotuma, yes.
Sotuma village to fetch water.
Ako akanya sa do men hoten ako Allah itamiro to Allah rafo je wol ka bata ku bale soto pour ka ji kendo soto pour kemi.
Hade.
Ako wati ka soto le fa fo eta fo o sato to nyabi guided by the name.
Sare Sacho.
No. Sotuma pour ye jo kendo soto yi.
Hade.
Yes.
So basically in all these wards, the basic necessities are not present, like clean drinking water, access to a very clean market, and also healthcare as well. These things are really not present.
Ako amunda ko ni sato wol nin kule mi yalan ko muna fam fengol benu kende reata itol ma soto no wala mu ji kendo yi anu ila soto fengol fanan ko me kasula men andi la jata kende fanan abuka soto anyama senate ji.
Hade.
Yes.
Now you have had you wrote on next page, I believe, with respect to the failure on projects implementation and financial mismanagement. I am reading word for word. That Basse area, we had said Basse Ward Development Committee made unlawful expenditure of 60% funds. $20,000 is flight ticket of the councillor to UK as per the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2009. Between the time of receipt and the time of payment into council's bank account, no money received should be made use of in any private way whatsoever. All finance staffs strictly prohibited from using for private purpose. So you have said that the travel of the councillor, was that an official function or was it a private function?
Ako akayuni ngamena wale councillor la osilo wala tamo ako fo do ko jamala ko le mbang fo afangola ko wala tamo.
Councillor ko jamala ko le.
He said he went for the public, went for the world.
So akamun dandol.
He had spent the development committee's funds meant for the community when it should be spent on the development of the community for his own personal use.
Ilafta folo nyame wole mu atlawo tamo ay nafulo menta atamata woketa community la nafulo le mi yalon ko wo nyanto menti wole ka dundi community la yuruwa kam barate o tala rada ke atla personal problem fenkoti tamot
ndolla mi rom wole.
Yes, that is our own thinking.
What is the name of the councillor?
Ako councillor tondi
Seni Kanute.
Seni Kanute.
Seni Kanute of which ward?
Basse
ward.
Basse ward.
Seni Kanute.
Yes.
Yes. Turn to the next page. You will see the Gambia ward. He said $7,000 was approved and withdrawn by Gambia ward committee. According to the committee people, they received only $2,000 for maintenance of Sare Sacho hand pump and no retirement fund found.
Ako la kalmolto wala mu wili woro la iko wala di itol la puruka pompo Sare Sacho la pompo da bari itol ka men fate wala wili fula itol wala je puru nyanta pompo da la menna.
And that the councillor did not even set up a committee or subcommittee to look into manage the expenditure of the ward.
And when you councillor among mol tombo memu committee will be ala ko wolle nyanta una flo la ko tamandila wala wo yuru ame nyanta kala jama okay.
Hade. Yes.
What is the name of the councillor?
Ako councillor tonti
Usenu Mahanera.
Usenu Mahara.
Of Gambia ward?
Mahanera.
Yes.
Gambia ward, yes, that's correct.
The Julang Gel ward.
Ako Julang Gel ward.
He said misallocation of funds by spending huge amount, $19,750 of taxpayer money on ward meetings which could be used on important things. What do you mean by that?
Ako je na ta fako je na fulo kasara je ba kele menta ta fo wuli tang anin kononto cheme woro la dala sitalu mi yalo ko nyanta ta wala nyame iti nyaro le ko je amanna ke o nyam.
Hade.
Yes.
Yes, can you please explain?
Ako fo si yes and no level.
Ni data Julangel ward jube.
If you go to Julangel ward,
Sate Jamale beje.
we have many villages there.
Data ngamera 64 ni manyina.
If I am not forgetting off here, it's about 64 villages.
Bari atalabe ka hand pump wole use.
But half of the population or villages, they all use hand pumps.
Wala open well.
Or open well.
So meeting killing.
There was one meeting.
Ward meeting killing.
One ward meeting.
New World Council 19,000 use water.
If the council used 19,000,
so fokaje ko 19,000 ke kolondo da bitinole wala hand pump do da dano.
And to see that huge amount of money, 19,000, cannot be able to cover only if it one well or make one pump head.
So ntoliaje ko kodota da dulama manya na talaje.
While for our sister we see that the monies have been diverted to a place of which it's supposed not to be there.
Now, Sutu Konding ward.
According to the Sutu Konding ward,
your findings were that the Sutu Konding ward committee sugar distribution activity
according to ito la community, la ward committee, suguro mi alam ko yantale ka janya nyofe wala ka tala.
Was a pure misallocation of public funds.
Ako kita kuti mi alam ko mol jamal na fulo le kasaraje.
$50,000.
Benta da fo bilita lulu.
Which was approved by all approving authorities without proper scrutiny.
Anunia jube wo kodo nying isontale bela sonta men nyantale ka songa la anno mambula no makalong anyanta kila ngante panstanya.
There was no list of beneficiaries and no retirement of expenses.
Andunia juwe mol meninganta nafa sotola kodo kangi mawol tol safe andun kodo fanan depansinya fende man safeji.
Hadi.
Yes.
Yes, please explain that.
Ako fije senandi bang.
Kome nga request oleje council file also.
We saw a request in the council's file.
So we'll done that kiskisi.
We then went and make our findings.
So nataje ko surkondi wodi request o safe furuka sukuro tala.
We realized that Sudugondi was
Kafunyoma.
that is the one they compared to
Well, there are for 50,000.
up to 50,000,
And CEO ya approve.
and it was approved by the CEO.
Director of Finance ya approve.
It was approved by the Director of Finance
Ani ward council.
and the Ward Councillor.
So kodo fanan ditale.
The monies was given.
Janni sukuru kenzo sankadi mola.
Before buying sugar and give it to people,
Kujama bejele membe la ward plan or kono 50,000 o se menkeno.
there are certain things or projects in the ward of which it must be 50,000 can be able to implement those projects.
Yes.
No, that village does not have a well.
So ye kodo ke kolon kono ole fisara yadi yake sukuroti.
Then it's better to use the monies to implement the said well, or it's better than buying sugar.
So ole mol ko misallocation olem.
This is, we see that it's for misallocation.
And you had said that there was no list of beneficiaries and no retirement of expenses.
And then ila kalmol do nata fako menu nyanta ibunu mura fanna ko do lay mol tol safeji.
Hadi.
And then ko do fana dépense nyalo mo fana bayitandi.
Hadi.
Yes.
So you could not know who benefited from this
amunta ko
this distribution.
londo soto ye wala imalon jumale muna fanta ko
Hadi.
yes.
The next one is the Damfa,
Ako wolu nyininkaro ke pour
or let me say road rehabilitation.
silo wala silo cemento le nyine gaje même tata fo bodo tallulo pour que la silo dada wala ka 50 dada.
The cement were bought, but the community resold the cement, and work was not done.
Ako men kata je wala ifa ko atol ko cemento mi sandale de bare community wala molu ja fango men ante mo fanno ko cemento la tata ka cemento ta ka se ga wafi andu dogo nyimannake.
Hadi.
Yes. Please explain.
Yes, ako je se tande ba.
Nga request o jele ye kono disburse le.
We saw the request and the money was disbursed.
Ndata je pour ka do ko dula nyin jube.
But we went there to inspect the site,
Pour ka do ko nyina quality jibe.
to see the implementation, the quality of the work,
Ndata mando ko jeje.
but we cannot find any.
Biringa na kiskisi roke.
When we did our findings,
Ndata kala muda ko community ye simento ni wafile.
we realized that the cement was being resold by the community.
Bari ye kodo ke dula men nga kiskisi roke malon no.
But the monies, where the monies went to, we did our findings, but we cannot trace it out.
When you say the community resold the cement, is it the community itself, as in was there a committee that decided that they would sell the cement, or was it just a group of people?
According to community, akabela sreje senandi fo committee will be jele bang many okay bang fo molle bi fa molle ka fo soto je men ka okay.
Ila VDC.
That's the VDC.
The VDC. The Garawal ward,
According to the Garawal,
$75,000 was requested for completion of Suduwol Committee Market and Garawal Street Light expansion. However, $50,000 is estimated for roofing and concrete tables, and other requests made for payment of a carpenter boat was not done.
akone ajube wili tawara ani lulu ya wala nyinen ka pour que la je doku akoba ne ajube wili talulu wo nata ke fenti me alan ko iko be wala kala kapi be wala dila carpenter pour lal pempen akoba alla ci sisro ko do wo man na soto.
Hadi.
Yes.
Is that still the situation?
Ako hani sa fo sifa wo al halo le biye ba.
Marse jim fo boytal.
The market is collapsed.
Now you have Koina ward, the next page.
Ako ni futa ni kaito ele man be ko na be fala ko na wo.
You said $87,000 was requested and approved for the completion of the Koina market, but only $80,000 was received by the people.
Ako ni ajube ifangola fo alla fawro ako wili tanse ko ba ni ajube
Taxpayer.
kasi talulu ya wala dundi la mitino to simuno soto be fola mo leje.
Ni ye koina marse o jube.
If you see the market of Koina,
Janin toliena.
before our visit there,
Ngaye ko council koto membeje.
we realized that the former council who was there,
Ay 200,000 duni marse o nyintole.
he implemented or he invested 200,
Isanyanti.
but the new council by the name Alagi Sanyang.
O vanangani 87 requests bara 80,000 samba.
He requested 87,000, but the monies he presented was 80,000.
Hani sa project ko mambang.
But still the project is incomplete.
So problemo be dulato je.
Then there must be a problem there.
No 7,000 oni.
But the said 7,000 pending.
Molko we are interested to know laftalo na ko be dulamende.
And we really wanted to know where these monies are.
Biringanda kiskisiroke.
During our findings,
Ako ate griyas ole sang.
he said he bought some wayagos or griyas
Kasamba garden doto.
to take it to another garden.
Barintata mangriasije.
But we went there, we couldn't find any.
So 27,000.
27,000,
Just a single puru word meeting killing.
just a single word meeting.
Ngaji ko koina word la sulo siata wotil.
And we realized that what the Koina need is more than that.
So olem.
This is it.
There is also another problem with respect to 4-day Kunda ward. You turn to the next page.
Akonita for the Kunda ward.
The problem mainly, well, the one I have interest in, which is of paramount importance, is in relation to a daycare.
Akoni ajuwe kumakangol membiye wala la batada membiye siata le barate menje mi alan ko wayati hakilu sonno mo fango batande wala muy kamen for daycare.
It was found that
Akwalna ta jeko
$20,000 was requested and approved for the roofing of Birif Daycare Center.
akoni ajuwe wili muang yo wala nyinin ka anu inata wala bondi pour ka dila kodo mi alan ko iko ibe wala tala ita brief ila healthcare ka dada.
I'm not sure whether we have a better picture, but this picture really is not clear. But you had said that the amount was to roof the daycare.
Ako bare membi ye wala mu natalo ni man na sene abake bare ate itela kuma ka wala me itade wala mu ka jube ko pour daycare ni ka kankara ko ni ka dada.
But then they never roofed the daycare.
Ako bare ni kankara wala man dada de.
That the roofing was not done.
Ako imam fenke je. Yes.
Yes, please expand on that.
Ako fo si ye fa sedandi ba wala ya fanundi.
Mtata jele.
Yes, we've been there.
Iko ilafta lola dulamento. Ilafta deke akutole lola.
But now what we are informed is that they want to erect a new daycare.
Bari request o nying amanke ko be new dulale lokan.
But the request does not show that they are going to have a new place.
Because ni new place them 20,000 or all nola.
But if they are to erect a new one, 20,000 cannot be able to.
Bari dulame itantola.
But the place that was shown to us,
Data jele.
we went there,
Amanda da.
nothing was done.
Anunga sibo mentaraje.
And the palm runs we find therein,
Ola rinjel.
well, they are all there,
Bari jemanda da.
but it's not implemented.
Akamunda ye kodota.
It seems you take money,
Yake bagaso kono.
you buy materials,
Doko manat.
and there is no work for it,
So akamunda kodole tinyata
which means the monies went for nothing.
Do you know what is the current state of the daycare?
Ako sang jamano mento jela alhalo fo jelo no.
Mbe fama la mandada.
When the time I left there, nothing was done.
When was this?
Ako kera wari juma
Last year.
last year.
Now, dear Bugu Ward,
Ako nindata diabugo.
there was a meeting that was said to be held by the councillor,
Ako komitino le kele mi alango kansulo le yanta musino nying lola ye.
but then there was no evidence of the meeting. Like there were no minutes of the meeting.
But wo mitino nying fa kata le fa manke amanna ko ibayri minutes amam minutes soto.
And the money spent was $16,475 purportedly.
Andun ko do men tamata je is willy tang ani woro chemena ni dalasita lulu.
Who is this councillor?
Ako min kansulo bi juwante
For the camera.
for the camera.
Ikakuman Abdurrahman Kamara.
But he is known as Abdurrahman Kamara.
Did you ask him about this particular?
Ako fo ala ne ngala ba nying ko do la ko la.
Na nyini ngale.
Yes, we do.
What was his response?
Ako atala jabro monesi.
Ako minutes oteje. Ako minutes oteje.
He said there is no means therein.
You have the same problems with the Bajakunda ward, the Misira ward.
Ako kukilingole baja kunda ward, misira ward.
With Misira ward, there was an amount of $15,000 requested and disbursed for the maintenance of tuber seed store, and you said it was not done.
Ako la ko molto ko misira wole ni ngaro kele wala pour ko do men tara fo wili tang ani lulu pour ka je ko kela turol la magasino ni dada.
Janni ngara lafta dula kilinga correct.
I just want to make correction to one.
Yes, please proceed.
Baja Bajakunda ward problemo mandaraje.
Bajakunda ward, it's not, that problem is not there.
I ajube kuje.
If you check better, there is no problem at Bajakunda.
Problemo bele bara manke problemo membe Bajakunda ward.
The problem which is in Bajakunda ward,
wole musio e ward request or approve amanta meaning ward committee.
But is that the CEO have approved a request from them without checking the community?
A village request or approve amanta meaning ward committee.
He approved the village request without approaching the community.
So what manem Bajakunda ward?
That is the only headache or problem in Bajakunda ward. That is I want council to check better.
Are you not the councillor of Bajakunda ward?
Ako for Itele Banke Bajakunda ward councillor. Yes.
Is that not maybe why you have special interest in Bajakunda ward?
Ako for whatever na entul murundi baka murundi koma kata Bajakunda ward.
And you wanted it?
Not that at all.
No, you are the councillor of Bajakunda ward. Why? If your evidence is that there is no problem in Bajakunda ward, then we will take it. But I just want to ask you. Was everything going on right with Bajakunda ward?
Ako bari itele bije de ajube ko je problem manteje. Ako problem teje dol ba talale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Gari, the Bajakunda ward, you have indicated that it has been indicated in the report that the village made a request which was approved but did not go through the ward development committee.
Akoni aju report to me itandita je wole mu wosate o wole nyi nkaro kale wore request but the request on ima itandi BDC e molla.
And this is what you decried of the councillors not engaging the ward committees to deal with the issues properly as provided for by procedure.
Nyinne take atolla bata ko de wala la jero do ko councillors lu ibukela ward committee lu e kala mutande wala buke e dundi nyinkol kono nata wato nyi sita pour ka nyinkoke. Yes.
So it is correct as per the report that the award was granted without proper scrutiny.
Akosani amunta ko report e be itali woto nya tale ko min ngaro menti wodi tale bare normal molman na no maka kiskis ka longa be nyaadile wala atama de nyanya takela nyame.
Comme report o bota sate le report o samba. Sate request o samba CEO ya.
The villagers are the people who took the request to the CEO.
Abota VDC le kata CEO ya.
From the VDC to the CEO.
CEO ya approve.
The CEO approved the request.
So ole manya nakela.
That is what should not be done.
Anyanta tala from the VDC ita ward committee.
From the VDC he should proceed to the ward committee.
Ninga je ko ajareta nga samba CEO ya.
If we realize that it's necessary, that is how, or that is when we are going to take it to the CEO.
So
that is how it happens.
Yes. So now, as councillors, is it not part of your responsibility to sensitize the ward committees to understand what they are expected to do under the Local Government Act?
Akofoni ajuwe na mazakunda neo la tamande nyaya landi nyame akofo atul councilor nyimanga atul nyantol tibang pour ka dum wol kono ka itandila wala ka ke karande pour ya long ila baro wala nyanto mumenti. Yes.
So is this sensitization been done by the councillors?
Akojing kalamutandiro.
During your time, were you doing this sensitization?
Kapri ite fango piye wala ila council yala wato nyin kalamutandiro mi yala ko atol la nyanto lem pour ale o ke molla wolem community akofo ali ake dun neba wala al ka keleba.
Ntoli akele ajama.
Yes.
Dol faram community development faranga kele ajama.
We did a lot and the community development too. They did a lot of it.
But
this problem happened in the early time when we were elected.
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
I just want to understand the working relationship. You have the ward committee then the VDC.
Village Development Council, kana Ward Development Council, and Area Council.
Communing sate sula posoto.
It seems when the need arises in the village,
VDC le musate mansakundati tele marta yurwa.
the VDC are responsible of the development of the said village.
Sate yurwa ko so VDC nyanda bolo kalama.
Any development needed by the village, the VDC should be aware of it.
So niya safe nyanda dunna ila ward committee member le kadu ward committee kabo VDC le.
When those needs are requested, that request should go through the ward committee because the ward committee works with the VDC.
Akabo VDC le from VDC member le ward committee.
And that ward committee is a member of the VDC.
So now some ward committee, ni mind general ward committee meeting, so the executive meeting or commanding all the capo.
So that request, when it is taken to the ward committee, if we don't implement a ward committee meeting, then it will be taken, or executive meeting could be held, so that we discuss about that request. If it seems that we saw that is the request and our ward plan match together, yes, we can proceed.
Right now,
but if it doesn't match, but we realize that this is really a need for the villagers, we can proceed.
But request VDC to ward committee to council.
But the request come from the VDC to the ward council, then to the area council.
Now, is it a combination of different committees from different wards that make up, from different VDCs that make up a ward, or?
Ako ward ka soto nyari le fo VDC li wolle ka kafu ya ward nyinglo fo aka ke nyari le ward ka soto nyari le.
Satel mel be ward kono sate musu killing ke killing.
The ward represent each of the villages, one female, one male.
Wolle kata ward committee.
That is the people combined together to have a ward committee.
Ani ninga modo opt ka kafu je.
Or sometimes we elect our own person to involve him therein.
So what constitutes the ward? How many villages?
Ako sa ni ko ward, so amunta ko yalta kala sate jelleti men batin na e wo kafo e lo ward committee.
Wodol la satel mankanya.
The wards ka villages are not the same. But for me, our ward 12 villages.
Thank you.
Sagari, who chairs the Ward Development Committee?
Ako WDC, Jumaleka chair.
Councilor.
The councilor.
The councilor. Did you have, because at Baja Kunda Ward, was there funding for a project?
Ako Baja Kunda Ward, ako fo ina fulo dundi jele puru yurwa nyin la karola ba.
Ade.
Yes.
What was the project?
Ako yurwa jumalem.
Wole mu boro fula kunda ka pompo dada.
Boro fula kunda for them to implement or make their pump.
Fatatenda hand pump.
Fatatenda hand pump.
Aninka contribution menke wole mu contribution oleki.
We used to do our own contribution for us to assist the Boro Kandakase market. And we dug a canal in the village for the water, so that the students can have access to cross the road.
No, I appreciate that. Let's confine ourselves on the projects that council funded. Which projects? No, wait. Which projects were funded by Basse Area Council?
Ako ila odlato project jumale mi alon ko Basse Area Council fangole a fund.
Wole mu Fulakunda la hand pump rehabilitation.
That is Fulakunda hand pump rehabilitation.
Fatatenda hand pump rehabilitation.
Fatatenda hand pump rehabilitation.
Boro Damfakunda Boro Kandakase.
Boro Damfakunda Boro Kandakase.
Ila water canal.
Their water canal.
Wolu council level fully.
Those are fully funded by council.
Baja Kunda Bridge.
And Baja Kunda Bridge.
All these projects have been successfully completed.
Yes.
Now, what was the complaint that they wrote directly to the CEO without going through the committee? You said something like that.
Ako sang abela furing ye sen anda bang kalmol wala complain o men kata me ala ko nyantale mi itol nata safe direct to the CEO.
Tesito do ko le.
It's about Tesito work.
Baja Kunda ni Loptano tema.
Baja Kunda, between Baja Kunda and the health center.
Were you aware of it?
I was not.
Why?
Because request of Mananga.
Because the request doesn't approach me.
You see, excuse me. You have a responsibility as the councillor.
You
cannot just wait. You cannot just disassociate yourself and just say Makalamuta. No, that's not going to take you out of this
he's
case.
Saying that
what was your relationship with the committee by then?
Ako akamen fo jawole mko ite fana ye nyanto sotole pour bare ite sido la yafa ko hanim makalamta ako sa bela fu na lonko wo wato ite din community nyinga altemol be dum nyaadile
na temo be diare ne fenteje.
Yeah, there was no problem in between myself and them.
Menga sambala fahamuro le mure.
Is the person who took the request does not have the knowledge to CEO have issued foil already.
I followed this boss.
By then he disbursed the phone already until the work have done.
So are you now saying that the CEO can bypass and implement project in your ward? Is that what you're telling me?
Akosa left after la CEO ateka tambite la in development wala yuruwa do go menya takele la wodoti.
Ha?
Yes.
Mr. Gary, then you have a problem.
Akoni ajuwe wodo ite fana
something you are not telling us.
Ite ku keta me ala ko mampare ko fode wala ma fontolie.
No, kutekela munga mello ndafo la commission.
No, there is nothing that will happen and I am aware and I will not tell the commission.
Because niaje ndata ja lafta ko kube dinko ko ngabe fintindi.
The reason why I'm here, I want to uphold anything in the dock or in the hole for them to be.
Wait. My last statement is.
Akola atala kalma laba wala mko.
It sounds strange.
Ako ilaji kumaka kumolem.
As the councillor.
Ako bari fawlem counciloti.
The chairman.
And
a project implemented in your ward without you knowing. Doesn't that sound strange to you?
This is why when it happens, I went to the CEO.
It was Jaite.
It's not the CEO, it was Jaite. I went to him.
Wild tabu.
I was wild on him. I tell him that will belittle me. This should be taken back to the ward councillor. And from there, if then this new CEO came, I gave him the same warning. Since that day till date, any request, even I'm not there, they have to advise them to say go back to your councillor.
Let me just go further. These projects that were initiated at the level of the ward, were their project proposals submitted to councils and their real costings?
Project proposal when a ward is issued a request, they do request. Then we do the estimate. Then take it to the CEO. Now it depends the admin's work. Procurement and planning. So that they can involve them there. When they are satisfied with that, then it is approved. If they are not satisfied, then it's rejected back to the ward. Then from there they will do their own findings. They call the people. Then when they are satisfied at any time, then it is approved. Because there is no expert there. All they do from the word is to request.
No, thank you. That was the clarification I was trying to seek.
Ako je better than je sedandile. I love
Yes, now, Mr. Gary, I believe that you understand what the provision of the Act is saying with respect to what is your responsibility as councillor and what you are supposed to do. Now, my question is, during the budget activity and planning, what do you do? Because it seems to me that, you know, these projects, they are done anyhow. They are not even planned. They are not in the budget. Because if it is in the budget, you will have been present when these things are discussed, and you know that it is in your budget and it will be implemented at this period of time.
Akwa ko ni ngamen na follow itela nyanto lo as council come na lua ya lande nyame. Ako ya mera itamanya ya ufaham leba. Ako bari ni afaham. Ako ba juwela ko anu fulanya ngo fanang. Nim project ko ikamen fate ya mera ye da dundi nim budgetin na ba kabiri be budgetin kila yo dal du jele ba. Ako bari da kata wo nyama budgetin nata ali ake budgetin dali ya budget le. So ako manya na ite kumbala. Bari ifamo be mabera budgetin dulato. Andi ba kalantala ko na tundo to de nyin nanga mole landi pour kan na nyin dala ako san pour na yalo bi ka foko ma kalamta se kola ya ako beri atla jero to nyim projet ko alma ke budgeto nyin kono da alwul tale tron ya ale ake anya bara mantra budgeto nyin kono
ay memfo atonyala.
Yes, you are right, chama.
Bari fengo fenni ay tarabe dunna budgeto ko.
But anything that will include be included in the budget
to kabo work committee level
is from the work committee,
because ganna budget proposal ole nati,
because we used to bring our budget proposal
ngadi budget committee la
and we give it to the budget committee.
Ni ya dundi la budget hodo
When it is implemented in their budget,
during budget session ngadi debate aka,
then we'll sit the budget committee and debate on that.
ni mankambe
If we don't agree,
nga vote,
we can do vote.
majority ye memfo weke,
Then the majority carry the votes.
bari ni project ndingol mele alon ka fo wolle ketaten
But these small projects or minimum projects that had happened this time,
lafta commission o ye mem famuje
I want the commission to understand that
ñil jamamu sub account oleti council ye create
these are many of them are sub accounts created by council.
ni tata collection ola from rates only
When they go for rates collection only,
ika percentage dota ya dundi o account odo
they take some percentage of that funds and put it in that account,
pour ni member budget
so that anything that is not included in the budget,
wodo kono
in the ward,
na keda maintenance olti
whether it is maintenance,
rehabilitation
rehabilitation,
ika charge ka bondi woleto
so that is the amount have been taken from that sub
onin ni actual budget ma
account,
ke kilinti de
and that is different from the actual budget.
Now, let me ask a further question. Is it correct for the council to create that sub-account taking from rates? Is it sanctioned by the Act for them to do that?
Fo fada musibel tiba mi yalon ko na loi na masako tandingo la loi ya la ni wala nyama ba fo asonta ma bang pour council ka si ta ko di do bondi ka landi karala ka fo ko nyimu sub account leti ako fo na loi ni sonta la ba
anji kita ko loi mambalala.
Well, I believe the law does not condemn that or hate that, because if I don't forget,
council say ele account create no le.
Council can be able to create their own account.
And we say another sub account create for a particular purpose.
For a particular purpose.
Yes. The reason why I'm asking, disbursement of funds into those sub-accounts, if it is not provided for in your budget. And the other thing I just want to put across is that your budget should be such that it should include what you are talking about, these maintenances. Because if you plan and you know what is on the ground, that should be reflected in the budget. You should put a particular portion, you understand, set aside for the purposes of maintenance, because you know that there is this particular project and it will require maintenance, so it should be in the main budget, so as to avoid creating unnecessary addition of cost by providing subsidiary accounts which will attract charges. That is my view. Because everything you need to do as a council, it should be reflected in your main budget.
Ako ata kada men kumbo wala mko ama fako amanya nakela ko banne ajube ku ke san wo kodo men ga dum wo sob account wo kodo nyi ga bodamento ako jelen wo sidlati de
ay même fo
bari ni ajube do ko men nyanta kala fengo fe mi ala ga do ata warta men nyanta kala wo nyanta kala bojoto nyi konole ka landi karala ka fako nyi bojoto nyi fanan dabi jele nyi nyanta kala ka nyi maintenance wala ka rehabilitate a be nyanta kala jele de for ba jela ko sama sini sama a konta nyasi sone a tama nyasi tili ako bari ni ajube ko to ke ka ko dindu ndo bondi ka landi jana ako aman ka siade bara ko do nyi aka bonon dano wala nyanta bonon